Hey guys, Nugs B here. Just wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsors of For the Record, and today I'm going to be thanking Advanaclean of the Tri-State. They specialize in all industrial cleaning you would need for your home and commercial locations as well. Advanaclean of the Tri-State provides essential indoor air quality services to residential and commercial customers. They provide mold removal, water damage, dryer vent cleaning, and air duct cleaning. The owners of this great establishment are Pam and Joel Dooley. So if you want to slide on over to Facebook, and if you're watching on Facebook, just go ahead and type it into the top of your search bar, Advanaclean of the Tri-State. Or you can check them out on their website at www.advanaclean.com/Ashland-KY. And like I said, that's ran by Pam and Joel Dooley. And if you need to call them, just give them a shout at 606-331-5001. Or if you want to stop in at their location, it's 4446 13th Street, Ashland, KY. And like I said, these are great people, great friends of mine, and you guys definitely got to check them out if you have any issues with your home or your commercial location for your business or whatever it may be. So make sure to give them a call. Go over to their Facebook page, give them a like, share their page, and if possible, tell them Taylor sent you. I really appreciate it, guys. Let's go ahead and get this episode started.
It's for the record, son. Yeah. Yeah.
It's for the record. I said it's for the record. Yeah, boy, it's for the record. And we all together. I said we all together. It's together, FTR. You know what we about. Yeah, boy, you know we about to let the knowledge sprout. We all together. It's together, FTR. You know what we about. Yeah, boy, you know we about to let the knowledge sprout. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nugs B, coming to you with episode 28 for the record. You know I got the magical Chris Leachman, and I got the magical Kool-Aid the Mix with me, baby. How y'all doing tonight?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
We doing it right, baby. You already know. Episode 28. So, we're going to go ahead and kick this off with some entertainment history as usual. First things first. July 1st, 1979. None of us were alive at this point.
No.
79, baby. Long time ago, okay? The Sony Walkman debuts in Japan, making music portable. Who remembers having a Walkman? I rocked one in 3rd grade, bro. I rocked it on the bus. You already know I have my Walkman.
You remember when the anti-skips came out too?
I don't even remember that, dude. Mine would skip, and I was 3rd grade.
So you're talking about a Discman.
You're right, I think.
Yeah.
A Discman. You're right, bro. A Walkman was tape, right?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I'm talking about a Discman. I had the gray, I don't even know what it was, if it was Sony or what it was.
I had a Walkman, dude, that was like the size of a VCR nowadays. Hooked onto your belt.
This one came out in 79. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I guess I never did have a Walkman. I had a Discman. Yeah, I forgot about that. And I remember specifically having Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent, rapping those lyrics. My mom was like, what? What'd you say? Oh, you said that? Took my Discman, bro. Took my Discman. I don't even know who got me that CD. I probably stole it from somebody. Or got a burnt CD, mixtape, you know? Had Get Rich or Die Trying in the club. I was in the van, you know? I was getting right, bro. And literally, she was like, what'd you say? Because I was rapping out loud. I didn't realize I was rapping out loud. I thought I was just, in my zone, 50 Cent, baby, 9 shots, And she wasn't a big fan of what I was saying. So, it is what it is.
Not.
Shout out to the Walkman, 1979. Like I said, my Discman, though, man, it was kind of trash. Like, if you weren't sitting real still, it was crazy. Like, you would get the stutter effect. I mean, you're getting everything, man. It was awful. And it's so crazy to think we went from Walkmans to, the Discman, VHS before that, technically. Well, tape is VHS, but, you go from that to DVD. or MP3. Like, dude, MP3 changed the game. Like, I feel like my generation was the last generation that had actual little MP3s. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You know, I graduated in 2014, so, like, I remember in 6th grade, you know, having a little, I don't even know, I think it was a Sony, actually, a little black, like, stick, and it had, like, a little knob, and you would flick it, and it would change the song you were listening to, you know? It was crazy, man. It's so crazy to watch those things develop. I thought it was really cool. Next thing in entertainment history, July 1st, 2016, 30-year-old Lady Gaga finally gets her driver's license. 30 years old, bro.
Wow.
3 years ago. How crazy is that, man? So crazy. I mean, I can't really say much. I was 21 before I got my license. I was slacking, dude. Like, I was slacking.
My 16th birthday, I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Get behind the wheel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just never really cared. And then, like, I had to care. So I was like, yeah, I got to get this done, bro. Like, this is just a mark on my list. I got to get done, you know?
Well, it's a necessity.
It is, literally. You got to have a license. For people out there who don't have a license, come on, bro. Just get it together. Get it together. If you 30 years old and ain't got a license, bro, unless you're, like, literally out here trying to save the environment by riding a bike, which most people aren't, they just don't go get it because they put it off their whole lives or whatever it may be. Go get your license. You know what I mean? Come on now. Let's get real. July 1st, 2005, Luther Vandross dies at age 54 after suffering a stroke 2 years earlier that left him in a wheelchair. So, R.I.P. to him. You know, that's an inconvenient thing. You know, he was seriously one of the best R&B, I guess, soul, you know, type of singers that, you know, one of my favorites, honestly. Next thing I got for you guys is a health tip. I read today that a lack of exercise now causes as many deaths as smoking cigarettes. So not exercising is literally killing people at the same rate that people smoking cigarettes are dying. So, I mean, this is just out of hand, man. And it's crazy because you think, you know, when tobacco was first, like, real big, you know, Native Americans were, you know, some of the big push that had put it on to Europeans, I'm assuming. I don't think Europeans were crazy into tobacco until we came over here. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Native Americans introduced them to tobacco, and then it was in its raw form until the cigarette companies came around, and, I mean, I'm probably going to say, like, the 50s, maybe. Like, I feel like big corporations, like, cigarettes, you know what I mean? I feel like maybe 50s or 60s, like, maybe later than that, dude. Maybe the 80s.
I'm 100% on that. I mean,
yeah,
I
I'll say look that up if you wouldn't care. First big,
Mr. Google.
TV,
yeah,
you know, movies. Everybody that was cool was smoking cigarettes. You know.
Yeah, look that up and see what the first big cigarette company was. Like, see what it was, what year it came out. Because I'm gonna say like the 50s or 60s. Because like you said, think about it, Joe Cool. That was the representation.
Marlboro Man.
I was about to say like Marlboro and Camel.
Those were the two big ones, bro. 100%. Like I said, Joe Cool and Marlboro Man. You know, so like you got these characters imitating, you know, this representation of literally death. Like, it is so crazy to think. Think about every single movie you saw, everybody was smoking cigarettes. Like, I remember watching Sons of Anarchy when I smoked cigarettes, and every time they would light one up, I would light one up.
Yeah.
And I would just chain smoke. I don't even know. It was like some weird, like, subconscious, like, third party telling me to smoke. Yeah. It's weird, man. Advertisement can do that to you.
Go to the movie theater and
yeah, dude.
A movie like that,
yeah,
and everybody's smoking.
Yeah.
That's why you don't really see cigarette ads and stuff like that no more
you don't.
on TV.
You see, like, the people, like, quitting. Like, you know, how many how many people are quitting.
Commercials.
Yeah. And what's the other one? The one that was, like, orange. It was, like...
Above?
Maybe that was it, but it was the
Above
one...
the Influence and stuff?
No, not that one. That one was more of like a gray colored at the end before it cut. I'm talking about like an orange one, and it was like an orange commercial. Like, that was their cut scene at the very end once they talked about 200,000 Americans have stopped smoking since 2012, or whatever it was, you know what I mean? But it was like an orange cut, I remember specifically. And I always thought that was really cool, man, because like you said, you know, when you were growing up, you see nothing but the coolest people smoking cigs. Mm-hmm. And then in my generation, it's like, oh, you know, all these cool people are stopping cigarettes.
Well, nowadays, man, the cigarettes don't even really have tobacco in them.
They're not,
it's
exactly.
It's
it's
all
not
garbage.
It's not
raw
tobacco.
I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
You know, I know this, but I can't quit.
It's hard, man. It's an
hard.
addiction that is almost impossible to quit, seriously. And the thing about it is, you got to think is like, you know, same thing with alcohol, man. You know, alcohol is seriously one of the hardest things to quit, not only because of the accessibility that it, renders for us. But you got to think, man, it feels good to be drunk. You can't sit here and say that you don't like feeling buzzed or drunk, because it's like things with people with taking drugs and stuff. Like if you get your teeth pulled or you go to the doctor or something. If they dose you the correct amount, you feel wonderful. It's when you start to abuse the substance when it gets a little hairy, But with the alcohol, dude, I don't care who you are. You can't sit here and say, there might be some people out there. I'm not going to say everybody, because, you can't say that. Everybody's different. But I'm going to say 90% of people, if they don't drink too much and they just drink a little bit of something that agrees with their body, they love the feeling. Who wouldn't love the feeling, man? Everybody's felt it almost.
Day everybody hates.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's the next day that everybody hates, or, if you drink too much, or whatever it is, whatever may happen. But I personally feel like almost every single person likes to be drunk. That's just, it is what it is. And once that, that type of power gets over you, when you can get, alcohol for pretty cheap, it just becomes a habit, and it's anything with drugs, and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that, more people are, I'm not going to say that there's as many alcoholics as there is drug addicts, but I guarantee it's close. I guarantee it. I guarantee it,
Like
man.
you said, just the
accessibility.
Being
straight
being
up.
able to get it so easy.
It's so easy, man. Same thing with nicotine. When I quit nicotine, I had, which, doesn't make any sense. I quit smoking cigarettes cold turkey to chew. And then I chewed exclusively until I quit that cold turkey. And, dude, I promise you, man, nicotine is probably the hardest drug and the hardest thing that I've ever done. And, the hardest thing I've ever had to experience in my life. And it's one of the hardest things that anybody has experienced drug-wise, so scientists have said. They say it's harder than coming off heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight
I was
up.
ready to say, I've read somewhere that, they compare it to trying to kick heroin.
Granted, with the nicotine withdrawals, you're not going to get the shakes. You're not going to get certain things that you would get, restless leg syndrome like you would from coming off of drugs. But at the same time, you're going to get some horrible effects, and it's bad, man. It hurts, dude, and it feels so
to quit
weird.
Several times over the
It's
years,
so
dude,
hard,
and
man.
it
Seriously,
sucks every
It
time.
really is.
so hard, dude. So hard. But so health tip of the day: a lack of exercise now causes as many deaths as smoking. So we were shedding a lot of light on smoking, but I'm gonna go ahead and shed some light on the lack of exercise, man. I personally feel like if we could encourage it in our communities, it would flow. It'd be like pay it forward. It would trickle downhill, I feel like it could work, man, if we could have some exercising things going on. But you gotta realize that, excuse me, in 2019, more people are fit than they've ever been. If that makes sense, people are more conscious about health now than they have ever been throughout humanity.
I'll agree with that, but
100%. But there's more obese people now, probably.
I was going to say, I don't think that everybody or that many people would be on board with the whole community thing, just because, man,
People are lazy.
There's a lot of lazy people.
A lot of lazy people. I don't know, man. You're probably right. You're probably right. I think I'm living in a utopia, man. I think I'm living in a perfect world that is probably never going to happen, because you got, America. That's just how it goes, and you got My 600-Pound Life is a show that people are tuning into, and it's obviously getting good ratings because it's still on. So when you got shows like that promoting obesity, dude, come on, man. Let's get real. Look at, China. Yeah, you got the sumo wrestlers, but how many, Asians you see they're, super crazy overweight? You don't really see that much, they're typically lean. Sumo wrestlers aside, because those are more Mongolian. They're the more Mongol. They're built big. They're bigger people. I watched Marco Polo and the Khan that he was serving. It was Genghis's grandson, Kublai Khan. That's who it is. Yeah, I almost forgot it for a second. Kublai Khan was enormous, but he was a killer. This guy was a brutal warrior, but he was Mongolian. He was Mongolian and Chinese, and it was this separation because the Chinese at that time in Eastern civilization were super advanced and civilized, where the Mongols, where they were very savages, they were very barbaric in their ways, and they were very primal about how they lived and killed, and it's crazy, man. It's really crazy to think about the separation in Asia. But it's so enormous, it's hard to not be separated like that. But like I said, you don't typically see too many Asians that are like super overweight. You know, they're just big people, you know.
I think that's typically a U.S. thing.
I think it is. I think it's just America, dude. Like, I don't really see any other countries that are like, you know, rampant with morbidly obese people, dude. Like, it just makes no sense to me. And I get it, you know, some people can't help it. You know, it is what it is. Like, you might, well, I can't even say that. You can help it. Some people are bigger. They might be born bigger or, you know, built bigger, but they can help if they're morbidly obese or not, you know. Like, there's no excuse for that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the facts of the day, my friends. And the first fact I have for you all is B. Arthur, which is Dorothy from Golden Girls. Shout out to my girl, you already know. Was a truck driving Marine during World War II before she found her fame. So I thought that was a really cool thing because we're going to be talking about veterans on this. We have a debate / topic. It's a little controversial, but we're going to get into it, and we're going to talk about, you know, veteran-based stuff. So I figured I'd shed some light on that. I thought it was really, really cool. Also, another government thing that I thought was pretty cool is who is the oldest person to sign the Declaration of Independence? Sorry, I can't speak. The oldest signer of the Declaration was Benjamin Franklin, who was born in 1706 and was there for already 70 at the time of Declaration. 70 years old, bro. That is insane. This guy was literally about to die, and he was signed, you know. It's just crazy, dude. Like, it literally makes... It literally puts him...
Then, life expectancy wasn't...
I was about to say, it puts in
very
perspective, you know, how this guy was really living. He probably was taking good care of himself, man, because, like you said, typically back then, in the lifespan, you're looking at 30 years, maybe. 35 years, 40 tops. You know,
and after the war and everything
exactly, nobody really came back. A lot of people died. I mean, this is a crazy time. You know, like seriously, man, it's wild, dude. But like I said, you know, I really thought that was cool on the topics we're going to be talking about tonight. So you know, I wanted to shed some light on, you know, B. Arthur being, you know, the Marine trucker and also the oldest person to sign the Declaration of Independence. I can't believe I got it that time. I'm a loser, so I can't talk. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. The first thing that we have to talk about is we're going to talk about how we feel on Gay Pride Month and Black History Month, and we're going to talk about how we feel about it in the sense of, you know, I really don't know how everybody feels about this. And like I said, it's a very sensitive, controversial topic, and I'm probably going to catch some flack for it, but you know what? It is what it is. Freedom of speech. We're going to say exactly how we feel. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. In my opinion, I personally feel that if we're going to have a Gay Pride Month and an African American, you know, Black History Month, which I'm cool with the months. It's not like I'm against, you know, people having their own month dedicated to them. Like, why would I be against that? It's not that I'm against it. I just personally feel like if we're going to do that, then we have to have a Veteran Month, or we need to get rid of both of those months specifically. Just because it's just not fair, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand that the LGBT community has went through some hardships. I completely empathize with what they have been through, and I completely empathize with African Americans as well, because they have dealt with some horrific things that I have not had to experience in my life. I'm blessed, you know, I've lived a pretty great life. I've had some things happen to me, but nothing along those lines. So I'm definitely grateful for that. My thing is, though, I'm just not cool with certain people getting special treatment. No matter what you've been through, everybody has a story, and everybody has been through something. I mean, we can't, you know, coddle people or specialize in dedicating things to people and not do it for every single person who has went through hardships, which is every human. Unless you were just born into money and you've been rich your whole life or whatever, you know, like, I don't know, man. I feel like...
see, I completely agree with most of what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I personally feel that we don't need any of that. I
Yeah.
feel like having all these different months, and again, like you said,
Yeah.
not downplaying any of what these other communities have had to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think that we need... having all these different months for everybody is just more segregation.
It is. It really is. Hey, scoop to
know?
the mic, too. It's a little bit... I can't hear you in my headphones. I definitely agree with you 100%, man. Like, you know, segregating our people with any type of categorization is not good for the growth of a humanity, I feel like. On a grand scale. It really
we
is.
need to get rid of all of them and have a humanity month.
Straight up, we
something
need
like
to
that.
have something for human beings, and also I'm gonna add to that by saying we should have back to back. It should be humanity and then animals, and then because with the humanity part that kind of involves our environment. But we need to have an animal month as well. And I'm not like an animal activist by any means, but at the same time, animals, they can't help it. They were here before us. They deserve to live as well. And I feel like that's a much better idea than my point I was making is, what's fair for some person needs to be fair for everybody. Maybe we should just make it fair for everybody and just give nobody anything. Straight up. Like, look, it is what it is. Nobody gets nothing. We all have, we've all had things happen to us that we're not too fond of. And people are probably going to disagree with us, and that it's just is what it is. That's why I do this podcast, to give the freedom of expression.
It'll never happen that way, though.
No, it'll never happen.
The way I feel about it, we should celebrate our veterans 365.
Yeah.
And as far as the months like the Gay Pride Month and Black History Month and stuff like that, I feel like they should be able to have it, but at the same time, like I said, I'm not downplaying it, but
Of course.
and more of the Gay Pride Month, like I feel like they're trying to push their ways upon people.
Yeah. I don't
and
know
like
if I
they're
would.
putting, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I was brought up, it wasn't a thing,
Well, people didn't talk
and
about.
I wasn't like, I'm not bashing them.
Yeah.
You love who you love. Love is a emotion, and
Yes.
you can't help who you love.
Yeah, it's very true.
And I don't hate on it, but I feel like pushing your ways upon people is wrong.
Yeah.
I know you have freedom of speech and everything like that, but
Yeah, well, here's my thing, bro. Like, I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time because you're making a lot of valid points, I feel like it shouldn't be pressed onto anybody. And here's the thing. I feel like if we're going to press anything, we should press the humanity thing, We should press the environment. And I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I can definitely agree with that, but I got to disagree with some of it because I definitely feel like, people should be able to celebrate things they might feel is very, very important to them, and we should be able to celebrate them. But should all of these corporations bow down to people in their specific week or their day or their month? And I'm not saying it in the sense of like just for African Americans and just for the LGBT community. There's other things I'm not completely cool with, like Columbus Day, for example. Granted, if it wasn't for Columbus, it would have been somebody else who came here. And, either way it was going to happen. But I personally don't feel we should celebrate it. I feel like there's a lot of things we shouldn't celebrate, in my opinion. We should have some different traditions. Like Easter, I get everybody, with the Christian thing, I get it, if you're into that, that's cool. But in my opinion, I feel like it became something that was not supposed to be. You got to think, in the beginning with all these holidays, they were built around family and great traditions and values. Now, pure consumerism.
Oh, absolutely. All your holidays. not
Spend
just
all your money.
Easter. They're all that way.
Halloween, literally.
Christmas.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, your birthdays. I mean, dude, it's crazy to think that, like I said, it's just all based around consumerism. Like, every single thing that is done in holidays, it's like, oh, you got to get this for the Easter sale that's at Walmart. You got to get candy for Valentine's Day. You got to spend. Give us your money. Like, I don't feel like it should be based around that, man. And that's where we're at. It's wrong. I feel like it's wrong. We're celebrating the wrong things. And we're all guilty of it. You can't say that none of us are guilty because we're all guilty. Right. It's been instilled into us. So we're like, yeah, we got to spend money. It's just what happens every year. We got to be prepared. And it's just, I don't know. I just think that it's wrong. And I feel like I said, I'm not taking away from people who have had hardships. But you got to think, if we're being honest, let's go ahead and throw out the heritage that had the worst hardships. The Native Americans. Where's their month? Where's their month? They deserve it more than all of us. any of us. I mean, their people literal genocide has happened to them. They were raped and pillaged. They were given land that was already their land, but everything about that was just so shady, man. And I just, if we're going to have something, and we're going to have a month dedicated to people, in my opinion, we need to give those guys a month. Straight up. They deserve it. Those ladies and gentlemen deserve it. I mean, seriously, it's just pathetic, man. But like I said, I'm not sitting here bashing the black community or the LGBT community at all. And obviously, I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to boycott, their month, or I'm going to, talk bad about it. It is what it is. Society is the way it is. I'm not trying to be rigid. I'm just trying to, express the way I feel as if our society should work. And I feel like everybody needs to do that, Once we start laying down and once we start just going with the flow, that's when things get weird, because in the position we're in right now in society, there has been humans that are appointed to tell other humans what they can and cannot do. It's a strange thing. Why is this person allowed to tell me what to do and this person has to listen, or, whatever it may be. But if you guys are interested in that topic and you guys want to throw some, opinions on that, definitely comment on this video. We want to hear everything you guys got to say, because it's a very controversial topic, and it's very, I don't know, I feel like, like Chris said, we need to stop segregating people. We need to stop separating. Every single thing we do is categorized, and every single thing we do has to have a label. Why can't we
There's
just
only
all
one
be
race, the human race.
straight up? That's how it needs to be. That's how it needs to be, man. And it needs to be here's the thing. It's not even about black and white. It's about rich and poor. The media gives us this facade, and movies give us this facade that it's going to be a civil war it's going to be a race war amongst black and white. It's going to be a class war. If something happens, think about the poor people hate the rich people hate the poor. Both of us on each sides want to steal from the other. But if rich people steal from poor people, it's not a big deal. But if the poor people steal from the rich people, it's a huge deal. It's crazy to think about that. But I personally feel like it's a class war, not a race war. And we need to band together and stand on our own 2 feet and come together and unify our country. That's how we take our country back over and stop letting these enormous corporations run
everything.
What we do. It's horrible. If Roosevelt was here today, there would be no Walmart. There would be no Amazon. There would be none of these huge corporations that are trillions of dollars, worth of revenue. And Andrew Yang, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's running in the Democratic Party. He's on the Democratic, ballot or whatever for 2020. He is wanting, one of the things he wants to do, whether it happened or not, we don't know. You know how it works with presidents. They do what they can, I guess. I don't know. But he wants to break up corporations like that. He wants to Roosevelt them. He straight up wants to come in because he knows that if there's corporations like that, his universal basic income theory will never work. Because you have these people up here who will still be flourishing off of the taxes that the universal basic income people spend. Because his theory is that if you give every single person above the age of 18 who opts in to do it $1,000 a month, they're going to spend it back into the community more than likely anyways. They're going to go. And if you got $1,000 a month coming every month, he seems to think that you're going to have more entrepreneurs. You're going to have more people taking chances because they have the extra money maybe. Or maybe they have enough money and they save it up, $12,000 a year, to throw down for equity to get a loan. Or so on and so forth. But that's what he believes. And I'm not saying I'm totally in agreement with him, but it definitely makes sense. I mean, think about it. We're going to go spend the money back into the economy. And if we can get it locally based and on a LLC level instead of a corporation level like Amazon and Walmart, it'll make everybody do well.
I just don't see something like that ever happening.
It's a fairy tale. It's one of those
and Amazon's got it together.
Oh, bro, Jeff Bezos is one of the richest individuals that is publicly rich. He's the richest one. But you got these princes and kings and queens and the Middle East and those guys. Those guys got money, big wealth like you've never seen. I mean, flexing on you for no reason. You know, just like ridiculous amounts of gold, man. But I don't know. I personally feel like we shouldn't have a Black History Month, and I personally feel like we shouldn't have a Gay Pride Month. I feel like we should have a Humanitarian Month, Environmental Month, and a Animal Rights Month. And that's just my opinion. You guys might crucify me for it. We'll see how it goes. That's just really how I feel. The next thing we're going to get on to is the evolution of TVs and phones, okay? So pretty much what we're going to talk about is how, for those of you who grew up in the 80s and 90s, you all know as well as I do that the commercials that they were airing towards American homes were with plasma screens and flat screens that were like $5,000 for like the big joint, you know, like you see on Goofy Movie with Pete's camper. You know, when he's like, when PJ's in there dancing to Powerline, you know, he's like, he's got the buffer, you know, he's wiping the fishbowl with his butt, the towel's hanging out, you know. So, you know, you think about like stuff like that with like, you know, the combo of like the big speakers, the big plasma.
In the 80s, that stuff was a dream.
I mean, seriously,
like,
dude.
That kind of stuff was just what you saw in sci-fi movies.
I'm telling you,
that
man.
were set in like the year 1999.
Yeah, literally, dude. I mean, it's crazy to think that, you know, in comparison to what we're going to compare today with phones and TVs, it went from a TV being $10,000 to a 65-inch being $500. That's this thin, you know, like you can hang it up on your wall and it barely takes up any space besides the actual surface area of it. You know,
I bought my first flat screen TV. It was a 27-inch.
God. 27. That's nothing now,
$700, and that was just like maybe the early 2000s.
Literally, man. You look at a 27-inch now, you can get it for like $50.
Oh yeah,
$50.
I can get the exact same TV.
You can get it
so
30
much better. So much better.
Oh, 1080p. You're looking at smart TVs, 4K, whatever, bro.
For a fraction of the cost.
A 32-inch smart TV and or just regular 1080p, maybe whatever. Probably $150, $100 maybe, bro. You're looking at dirt cheap prices. So the comparison we're getting at is pretty much how we wonder. We don't really wonder. We kind of know the inflation of phones and TVs. So TVs, you know, like we said back then, was $5,000 to $10,000 for the big things, or $700 or $800, and then it went down to now. Like I said, you can get the best of the best for like $500, maybe. You know, you don't really have to spend that much more than $500 to get a great TV.
Yeah.
So the comparison is that going to be with phones? Will landlines eventually not exist? I mean, what do you guys think? You think one day?
We're probably headed that way.
Yeah.
One day, maybe.
Landlines are almost obsolete.
Everybody's
now.
got a cell phone now.
Well, here's
Just businesses, offices, those
Yeah.
kind of places are about the only ones left.
Literally.
Payphones don't exist anymore.
Well, it's crazy that you say that because I was just looking, and as of right now in America, 51% of people have Amazon Prime. American families, 49% own a landline. So there's literally more people that own Amazon Prime in their house than landlines.
Yeah.
You gotta think, dude. Not even in the 90s, literally every single house had a landline. Early 2000s, landlines. I remember having a landline. Like, it's crazy to think. And here's the next thing, you know, with the flip phones.
Right now, I have a landline.
Yeah.
I just don't even have a phone hooked up. I don't have a jack
Yeah.
anywhere in my house to
Dude,
plug in a landline.
no house they've built in the last 20 years, you know, has been like that. It's crazy to think. And the thing is, too, is like, you know, with flip phones, eventually, pretty much everybody's going to have a smartphone, kind of like everybody has a flat screen now. When's the last time you went to somebody's house and they had the old floor TV that's like just a big, box, you know, and I'm talking about like
we
the
got
big,
one of those not too long
supposed to be
ago.
flat screens. You know, the ones that are like stand by themselves, like big flat screens, dude. It's so crazy. I haven't seen one of those in I don't know how long, man. Last time I saw one, the person was trying to get rid of it. It was like, I don't want this anymore. Do you want it for free?
Mommy, me and Papa have one.
Oh, they have one like a big that's crazy,
Yeah, it
man.
almost
Look how much
touches the
those things run for now. Look up how much those things run for. Because I'm curious to see how much you could pay to get a big you know,
I think
80s
we had
TV.
one maybe 8 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Golly.
And it quit working. So
Oh, yeah.
We went office space on it in the backyard. Straight
Straight up, bro. They are not built like they used to be. It's crazy to think, man. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to, let you guys know to think, like, really think about how things are going, man. Like, we went from the
Dude, in the last
wind up
100 years.
Oh, dude, the last 100 years have been crucial for
My
civilization.
granddad's 87 years old, and when he was a young kid, there was no TV. He listened
Radio.
to shows on the radio. Yeah.
Radio, that was
And
it, dude.
He's seen the radio turn into black and white
Yeah.
TVs, turn into
Color.
color TVs,
Yeah.
to the big. You remember the old big
Had
wooden
antennas.
floor model,
Had the antenna. Mm-hmm.
the big box with
Mhm.
the wood frame
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to the big box,
That's
like
70
you were talking
show.
about a minute ago.
Mhm.
Now you can get a 65-inch up on your wall
Literally.
that's
Tiny.
a half-inch
Paper
thick.
thin.
Yeah, bro. Literally. It's wild, man. So the next thing I'm going to speak about that I want your guys' opinion on is, how do you guys feel about the separation of church and state? How important do you think that is?
Oh, I think it's very important. You have to have the separation.
How many states left? Look up how many states delegate their laws and such by church. I mean, Alabama's obviously one of them. It's a pro-life state. So that's definitely one. But yeah, try to find out exactly how many states are still, church-based, I guess, on how they delegate their laws and their crimes, Me personally, yeah, I'm in agreement. I feel like the separation of church and state, if it isn't in a state, they're just wrong, because times have changed so much. Think about it, man. Like you said, in the last 100 years, we went from radios to flat screens. Times are different. People are living different. People are having less kids. People are, you got more mass shootings now. You got this and that and this and that. You got phones. You got social media. Everything is so much different now, man. Church cannot be brought into the delegation of state-governed things.
Right, and I think a lot of them want to use the church as more of a moral compass, so to
Sure.
speak, I guess, through the political world.
Yeah.
But you can't base laws off a religious preference.
Yeah. You're absolutely right,
Plain
my
and
friend.
simple.
You're absolutely right. And that's the thing. It is a preference. That is what people don't realize, is that preference is not for everybody.
Right, and everybody has the right to practice whatever religion they
Yes.
choose,
I encourage it.
but
Some people need
can't-
religion.
Absolutely.
Some people need religion in their life to make them a better person. And I am cool with that. I want that to happen. I don't want people to be out here, being a horrible person simply because, they've never had any guidance in their life. Maybe they need that guidance from God or whatever it may be. And I just truly feel like religion is a great thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time. And it definitely does not need to be involved when we're making decisions about humans' lives. When we're talking about somebody wanting to abort a child, I don't feel like religion needs to play a part in that. Because in all actuality, what is the correlation? Like you said, it's the moral compass. I get what they're trying to say, but what is really the relativity of those things, man? Like, it just makes no sense to me. And if anybody out there has, some light they can shed for me and inform, my ignorant self, I'm down to read and I'm down to debate. And,
That's the states that still do it.
what states we got left?
Pennsylvania, Maryland,
Makes sense.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama. I believe that's Arkansas and Texas.
Wow. That's crazy. We're in Kentucky. I figured Kentucky would have been one of them.
figured so, too.
I figured. I really did. But I don't know, man. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm the. Here's the thing. I'm not a conservative. I'm not really a liberal. I'm not really a libertarian. I'm kind of just a neutral, open mind about all things on how we work, And I personally feel like you said, it's a preference, and I don't think we need to push that on anybody. Nobody needs to be pressed into religion. Or pressed into being told what to do.
Yeah.
People need to be adults and they need to make their own decisions, straight up. Everybody needs to make their own decision, man. You shouldn't be pressing that stuff on people. It's not right. It's inhumane, in my opinion. So I'm going to take a second, guys. For those of you who want to be involved in the sponsorship opportunity, be sure to contact Together FTR on Facebook, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Either one works. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, just wanted to give another thanks to the sponsors who are going to be involved in the next episode or two. Big shout-out to Advanta Clean of the Tri-State. Love those guys. So, yeah, also another thing I want to tell you guys is be sure to go to www.togetherftr.com. Pick up a t-shirt, maybe get a beanie, get something, man. Go pick up some merch from there. And if you've worked in the industry of food, make sure to drop a story on the Server Life tab just so we can hear, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, once again, last time, www.togetherftr.com. And go check us out, see what merch you might be interested in. I really appreciate everybody that's tuned in for sure. I just want to take a second to shed some light on that. The next thing I'm going to take a moment to shed some light on, and we should probably just take a moment of silence and go ahead and say our prayers, is that none of us have to step in the octagon with John Jones. So I'm just real excited about that for all three of us right now. I'm real pumped about that.
Yeah.
None of us have to get in there with that animal.
Nope.
That dude's an animal. I watched the free fight with him and I can't remember the guy's name. He was 10 years older than John Jones, and God, that poor guy. I thought he was going to get John Jones in the beginning, and this is for the heavyweight champion, heavyweight title. John Jones was defending, I think it's like the 6th or 7th time he's defended his title. So the thing is, John Jones, like in the beginning, dude got him in an arm bar. John Jones picks him up while he has his arm hyperextended and slams him on his head a couple times and then ends up pulling out. Like, I thought it was over, dude. Like, armbar is over.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Oh, dude.
Nasty.
And then I thought John Jones was going to be done. I thought he was about to lose the title. You know what I mean? But
so many of those guys are just
pulled out
animals.
Oh, God. John Jones is terrifying. Terrifying. Like, seriously, just imagine that guy just kicking you right in your face.
I just watched a video.
I don't want to imagine that.
How old it
That'd
was
hurt.
or how recent.
Who is it?
But it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
video
you're
of Brock
right.
Lesnar.
Oh, yeah, dude. He
And
used to be
another
an animal,
fella,
too.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But the dude, he took Lesnar out with a body kick.
God.
Like you
Shot to the liver.
He threw a side kick, got him across the body with his shin,
Yeah.
and you could tell it took the life out of him.
That's crazy, man. That's how it goes, though, dude. All it takes is one little kick, and boom,
Those
you
are
just...
the heavyweights too, man.
Dude, the heavyweights
Those
are
just
brutal.
monsters rolling around that cage.
Man, I'll tell you another person who's an animal. Conor McGregor, bro. I gotta give it up to that guy. He is an animal.
Absolutely is.
He really is, bro.
He's
You
a
get
little
that?
too cocky for my taste
Oh,
on
yeah.
occasion,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do still kind of like him.
I think that's his swag, though. I think that's his style. Like being a cocky, like
That's kind of why I didn't never like
Pompous.
Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
He was a little too
Tito
cocky.
Ortiz was the same way, bro. He was very, very cocky.
But
Which-
he was a bad man,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, he really was.
He was a
maybe
bad
if I could
man
fight
with
like
the
that, I'd
hands.
probably be pretty cocky too.
That's very true, bro. You knocking people out like that,
Yeah.
kicking people in their face.
Hey, what about this Tom Cruise Justin Bieber thing?
Oh, God. Well, look, bro. Here's the thing. We talked about it, and Dana White had gotten in contact. That's a wrap. It's canceled. But I saw today that Steve-O said, don't
saw
fight
that,
Tom
too.
Cruise. Fight me.
I saw that.
Dude, how sick would that be to see Steve-O and Justin Bieber fight?
That'd be great.
Dude.
I think that would be as much as I gotta say. Tom Cruise makes some great movies.
Oh,
he does,
yeah.
But I just don't feel like something about him I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't much
yeah.
care for him.
Scientology will get you.
But yeah, he's a strange duck. He is. He's a strange duck. But I really would have. I would have liked to have seen him destroy Bieber in the ring.
God, that would have been awesome. Well, people like violence. People want to see other famous people they know fight.
I want to see Bieber get beat up for sure. For sure.
They want to see people fight.
Hey, that man trains with Floyd Money Mayweather,
He does, bro. That I said the same thing. He's been training for like a year or two. He really might come in there and knock old Tommy out.
Nah.
Old Tommy Cruise, bam, bam, he's done, bro. Look up Tom Cruise's real name. I can't remember what it is. What is it? It's Jerry Maguire, bro. That's his real name. Yeah, look up Tom Cruise's real name because it's not Tom Cruise. That's his actor name. So, yeah, like I said, let's just take a moment of silence and do that we don't have to get in the ring with John Jones, bro, because that guy is nasty.
Absolutely.
And who else is real nasty? I wouldn't want to get him. Kimbo Slice. I wouldn't want to fight that guy.
Oh man.
Rampage Jackson.
All right.
Thomas
Yeah.
Cruz, Mapother.
Oh, Maypother. Yeah.
Maypother.
Maypother, yeah.
The fourth.
The fourth.
The
Is that his
fourth.
Thomas Cruise?
Thomas Cruise.
He might have legally changed his name then or something. I thought that was just his actor name. I could have swore he had like a different name, bro.
Brad Pitt's real name is William Bradley Pitt.
Yeah. I didn't know that the lead guitarist and singer for Fish, his real name is Ernest.
Yeah.
Ernest, Ernest is his first name, bro. I was like, what? What? No wonder you went by Trey. Like, come on now, bro. Crazy, man. But yeah, it's been a great episode, man. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to share, like, and comment on this. Be sure to go check out the sponsor, Advanticlean of the Tri-State. It's been a great episode, guys. I'm here with Chris Leachman and Kool-Aid the Mix. You already know.
Hey.
We tuning out for the night, baby. Appreciate you guys.